In the mid-16th century, Japan was a land consumed by chaos, a fractured realm known as the Sengoku Jidai, the Age of Warring States. A tapestry of ambitious daimyo, each vying for supremacy, tore at the very fabric of the nation. This was a time of relentless conflict where the sword dictated destiny and peace was but a fleeting dream. Amidst this maelstrom, a child was born in 1543, destined to become one of Japan's most pivotal figures. His birth name was Matsudaira Takechiyo, later known to history as Tokugawa Ieyasu. His early life, however, was not one of privilege or security, but a crucible of vulnerability. Instead, it was defined by an acute precariousness, an existence that would forge the very steel of his character. From his earliest days, Ieyasu was a pawn in a grand, brutal game of power, a hostage to the ambitions of others. His journey from a vulnerable child to the architect of a unified Japan is a testament to unparalleled patience and strategic genius. At the tender age of 6, Matsudaira Takechiyo was torn from his ancestral home in Mikawa province. He became a living guarantee, a bargaining chip in the intricate and often deadly political machinations of the era's most formidable warlords. His very existence was a testament to the ruthless pragmatism that governed the land. First, he was sent to the Oda clan, a brief and perilous interlude, before being transferred to the powerful Imagawa family. This was not a childhood of innocence, but a stark, unforgiving lesson in survival. He was a pawn in a high-stakes game, his fate inextricably linked to the shifting alliances of his time. Under the watchful eye of Imagawa Yoshimoto, Ieyasu was afforded a measure of safety, yet his position remained inherently precarious. He was educated, trained in the martial arts, and treated with a certain respect, but never as a true son. He was a valuable asset, a potential tool to be wielded by the Imagawa. This period, though fraught with peril, proved to be a profound crucible for his developing character. It was here, in the shadow of constant threat, that Ieyasu learned invaluable lessons in observation and self-control. He absorbed the intricate dance of court politics and the subtle art of concealing one's true intentions. He learned to read the intentions of others, to anticipate their moves, and to mask his own emotions behind an impassive facade. These formative years, spent in a gilded cage, honed his strategic mind and cultivated an inner resilience that few could match. He studied the classics, military strategy, and the intricate etiquette of the samurai class. The experience taught him the true cost of weakness and the immense value of patience. He absorbed the lessons of power dynamics, preparing him, unknowingly, for the monumental tasks that lay ahead. This forced submission instilled in him a deep understanding of human nature and the long game of power. The year 1560 brought a cataclysmic event that would shatter the existing power structure and irrevocably alter Ieyasu's fate. The formidable Imagawa Yoshimoto, his captor and patron, marched west with a vast army, intent on conquering Kyoto and asserting his dominance over the realm. His ambition was boundless, his forces seemingly invincible. His path was blocked by the audacious and seemingly reckless Oda Nobunaga, a rising star from Owari province. Nobunaga, known for his unconventional tactics and ruthless efficiency, was a stark contrast to the traditionalist Yoshimoto. The stage was set for a clash of titans, a moment that would redefine the landscape of Japan. What followed was the Battle of Okahazama, a stunning and improbable victory for Nobunaga. Against overwhelming odds, Nobunaga launched a daring surprise attack amidst a torrential downpour, catching the complacent Imagawa forces entirely off guard. The element of surprise, coupled with Nobunaga's tactical brilliance, proved decisive. Yoshimoto himself was slain, his mighty army utterly routed, scattering in disarray. This seismic shift in power sent shockwaves across Japan, reverberating through every daimyo's domain. The Imagawa clan, once a dominant force, was now in disarray, their influence shattered beyond repair. For Ieyasu, this sudden collapse was not a disaster, but an unexpected liberation, a divine intervention. The chains that bound him to the Imagawa were suddenly broken, severed by the swift blade of Nobunaga's ambition. He seized the moment, breaking free from his long captivity and reclaiming his ancestral lands in Mikawa province. He returned not as a mere hostage, but as a lord, albeit one with limited resources and a daunting task ahead. The years of forced subservience were over. He was now ready to shape his own destiny, to carve out his own path in a fractured world. The Battle of Okahazama was more than just a military engagement. It was the catalyst that propelled Ieyasu onto the stage of history, transforming him from a pawn into a player. With his newfound freedom, Ieyasu faced a critical decision. The remnants of the Imagawa posed a lingering threat, and the ambitious Oda Nobunaga loomed large, a force of nature sweeping across central Japan. In a masterstroke of strategic foresight, Ieyasu chose alliance over conflict, recognizing the shifting tides of power. He recognized in Nobunaga a shared, albeit brutal vision of a unified Japan. While their methods differed starkly, their ultimate goal aligned: to bring order to the chaos. This alliance, forged in 1562, would become one of the most formidable partnerships in Japanese history, a cornerstone of the unification process. Nobunaga, known as the Demon King for his ruthless efficiency, employed fire and fear to achieve his objectives. He was swift, unyielding, and innovative, crushing opposition with overwhelming force and revolutionary tactics. His campaigns were marked by speed and a willingness to break with tradition. Ieyasu, by contrast, cultivated patience, trust, and a deep understanding of his vassals. He built loyalty through careful governance and a reputation for steadfastness, a stark contrast to Nobunaga's volatile nature. He was the steady anchor to Nobunaga's tempestuous ambition. Despite their contrasting personalities, their combined forces proved unstoppable. Together, they conquered vast territories, suppressed rebellious clans, and systematically dismantled the old order of fragmented domains. Their alliance brought a new level of military might to the unification efforts. Ieyasu served Nobunaga faithfully, proving his military prowess in numerous campaigns, including the siege of Odani Castle and the Battle of Nagashino. He was a reliable ally, a steady hand in Nobunaga's whirlwind of ambition, earning the trust and respect of the formidable unifier. His loyalty was unwavering, his contributions invaluable. This alliance allowed Ieyasu to consolidate his own power base in Mikawa and expand into Totomi province, laying the groundwork for his future dominance. He learned from Nobunaga's audacious strategies while refining his own, more measured approach to leadership. The partnership was a testament to Ieyasu's pragmatic genius. He understood that to survive and eventually thrive, he needed to align with the strongest force, even if that force was a tempestuous and unpredictable genius. The year 1582 brought another dramatic twist of fate, one that would once again test Ieyasu's resilience to its limits. Oda Nobunaga, seemingly on the cusp of unifying Japan, was betrayed by one of his own generals, Akechi Mitsuhide. The betrayal was swift and shocking, a sudden rupture in the fabric of power. Nobunaga was cornered at Honnoji Temple in Kyoto, his forces overwhelmed and forced to commit seppuku, a tragic end for the ambitious unifier. His sudden and violent demise plunged the nation back into uncertainty, creating a power vacuum that threatened to reignite widespread conflict. The dream of unification seemed to shatter. At the time of Nobunaga's death, Ieyasu was far from his own domain, visiting Sakai near Osaka, a city under Nobunaga's direct control. He found himself deep within enemy territory, surrounded by potential threats and cut off from his main forces. His situation was dire, his life hanging by a thread. What followed was a harrowing escape, a desperate dash across treacherous terrain, avoiding hostile forces and opportunistic bandits. This perilous journey, known as the Iga Crossing, showcased Ieyasu's extraordinary cunning and sheer determination. He relied on the loyalty of a few trusted retainers and the assistance of local guides, navigating through dangerous mountain passes and dense forests. He emerged from this ordeal not only alive, but with his reputation solidified as a man of unwavering resolve. His ability to survive such a perilous situation, to navigate through chaos with unwavering resolve, became legendary. It was a testament to his foresight, his network of loyalists, and his sheer will to endure. Nobunaga's death was a profound shock, a moment of national crisis, but Ieyasu's survival was a testament to his adaptability and foresight. He had once again navigated a moment of extreme peril, proving his mettle as a leader capable of enduring the most severe trials. The path to unification, though momentarily derailed, remained open. With Nobunaga gone, a new power quickly rose to prominence. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, one of Nobunaga's most brilliant generals. Hideyoshi swiftly avenged his lord's death and began the process of consolidating power, aiming to complete Nobunaga's work of unification. His rise was meteoric, his ambition undeniable. Ieyasu, ever the pragmatist, initially bided his time, observing the new political landscape. He engaged Hideyoshi in a brief, inconclusive conflict at the Battle of Komaki and Nagakute, demonstrating his military strength and strategic acumen. This engagement proved that Ieyasu was a force to be reckoned with, not easily subdued. However, Ieyasu recognized Hideyoshi's overwhelming power and chose a path of strategic submission rather than prolonged, unwinnable war. He formally acknowledged Hideyoshi's authority, even sending his son as a hostage, a painful but necessary sacrifice for long-term gain. This act of apparent submission was a masterstroke of political maneuvering. Yet, Ieyasu never truly submitted in spirit. He maintained his independence, carefully managing his vast domains and steadily building his power base. He waited, observed, and patiently prepared for the inevitable shift in the political landscape, knowing that Hideyoshi's reign, like all others, would eventually end. Hideyoshi, for his part, understood Ieyasu's strength and respected his capabilities. He sought to integrate Ieyasu into his system, granting him new territories, including the vast and fertile Kanto region, centered around Edo. This move, intended to keep Ieyasu distant from the capital, inadvertently strengthened Ieyasu's position immensely. This period was one of careful maneuvering for Ieyasu. He participated in Hideyoshi's campaigns, including the ill-fated invasion of Korea, but always with an eye towards his own long-term objectives. He cultivated alliances, managed his resources, and solidified his control over his burgeoning domains, preparing for the ultimate contest. Hideyoshi's death in 1598, leaving behind a young child heir, Hideyori, created the precise opportunity Ieyasu had patiently awaited. The Regency Council Hideyoshi established quickly, fractured, consumed by internal rivalries. The stage was set for the final, decisive struggle for supremacy, a contest Ieyasu was uniquely prepared to win. The death of Toyotomi Hideyoshi ignited the smoldering tensions among the great daimyo of Japan. The nation was once again poised on the brink of widespread conflict, a struggle for ultimate control. The fragile peace Hideyoshi had forged threatened to unravel completely. Ieyasu, now the most powerful and respected of the daimyo, seized the initiative with decisive action. He began to consolidate his alliances, drawing together a coalition of lords who opposed the Regency Council and its perceived leader, Ishida Mitsunari. The lines were drawn for the final epic confrontation. The stage was set for the decisive clash, a monumental confrontation that would determine the future of Japan for centuries to come. On October 21st, 1600, the Eastern Army, led by Tokugawa Ieyasu, faced the Western Army, commanded by Ishida Mitsunari at Sekigahara, a narrow valley in central Japan. The battle was a maelstrom of steel and strategy, a brutal and chaotic struggle involving over 160,000 warriors. The fate of the nation hung in the balance, decided by the courage of soldiers and the cunning of commanders. The air was thick with the cries of battle and the clash of weaponry. Ieyasu's strategic brilliance shone through. He had meticulously planned for this moment, cultivating defections within the Western Army and positioning his forces with precision. His intelligence network and diplomatic efforts had been working tirelessly behind the scenes, sowing discord among his enemies. The turning point came when several key Western Army generals, swayed by Ieyasu's promises and threats, switched sides in the midst of the battle. This betrayal shattered the Western Army's morale and cohesion, leading to their swift and decisive defeat. The tide of battle turned irrevocably in Ieyasu's favor. Ieyasu's victory at Sekigahara was not merely a military triumph. It was the culmination of decades of strategic planning, unwavering resolve, and an unparalleled understanding of human nature. It was the final decisive blow that cemented his position as the undisputed ruler of Japan. The long, bloody Sengoku period had finally found its end. With the victory at Sekigahara, Tokugawa Ieyasu emerged as the supreme power in Japan. 3 years later, in 1603, he was formally appointed Seitai Shogun, the supreme military ruler, by the emperor. This appointment marked the beginning of the Tokugawa Shogunate, a new era that would fundamentally reshape Japan. The man who had begun his life as a vulnerable hostage had transformed into the architect of a lasting peace. He had endured betrayal, hardship, and constant peril, only to rise above it all and forge a new destiny for his nation. His journey was a testament to the power of perseverance. Ieyasu established his government in Edo, a small fishing village that would rapidly grow into the sprawling metropolis of modern-day Tokyo. He implemented a centralized feudal system, meticulously designed to prevent any single daimyo from challenging the shogun's authority. His vision was one of stability and control. He imposed strict controls on the daimyo, requiring them to spend alternate years in Edo, a system known as Sankin Kotai. This ensured their loyalty and drained their resources, preventing the accumulation of power that had fueled past conflicts. It was a brilliant mechanism for maintaining central authority. The Tokugawa Shogunate ushered in a period of unprecedented peace and stability that would last for over 2.5 centuries. This era, known as the Edo period, saw the flourishing of Japanese culture, art, and economic development, shielded from the ravages of war. Japan entered a golden age of internal tranquility. Ieyasu's legacy is one of profound impact. He was a conqueror, yes, but more importantly, he was a unifier. He brought order to a land ravaged by war, laying the foundations for a stable and prosperous society that would endure for generations. His vision shaped the very identity of Japan. His life, from a pawn in political games to the ultimate victor, is a testament to patience, strategic genius, and an unyielding will. Tokugawa Ieyasu did not just win battles. He shaped the very future of Japan, leaving an indelible mark on its history. His story is a powerful reminder that even from the most humble beginnings, greatness can emerge. Delve deeper into the intricate tapestry of Japanese history. Subscribe to our channel for more captivating documentaries on the samurai, shoguns, and the dramatic events that shaped this incredible nation. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Which historical figure inspires you most?